This is why Haaland and Gabriel Magalhães hate each other's guts. Let's go back to December 2019. Mikel Arteta becomes Arsenal's manager. Now this is where it all started. The whole fierce rivalry. This is where it all started from, right? Arteta becomes manager of Arsenal in 2019. This is where the whole Arsenal City rivalry starts. So it is very manufactured because Arsenal want to write their names in the history books. Like the rivalry that City and Liverpool had is unrivaled, to be honest. So Arsenal want to write themselves in the history books, and the way to do that is to have this fierce rivalry and get your clips shown on Sky Sports over and over again. So this is what Arsenal want. They want this whole stigma around the City Arsenal game so that it becomes bigger, so that they can try and scare City off or mentally break them. And it's just not how it works. They beat us 5-1 in the previous game that we played with them. That is nothing to do with mentality. That is 100% to do with having Kovacic and Bernardo Silva in midfield. Games are won and lost in midfield, as I've said before. That game was lost in midfield. Bernardo Silva, Kovacic just not up to it, whereas Ødegaard, Rice, Partey were. So yeah, it's as simple as that, really. Arsenal shocked City in the FA Cup semi-final in 2020 and beat us, and it was a shock because, let's be fair, we smoked them 11 games in a row. Pep smoked Arteta 11 games in a row. So this is like where like mentally they were broke. 2022-2023, Arsenal led in the league for 248 days. They were first in the league for 248 days. What happened? City came back, won the league. Because we do that, don't we? We do win the league. And something which was pivotal in us winning the league that year and beating Arsenal to the league. We beat them twice, including a 4-1 thrashing. I mean, Arsenal fans will forget about that 4-1 thrashing because they beat us 5-1. So they're gonna want to forget about that very, very quickly. But don't forget that City overtaking them and winning the league, we gave them the nickname Bottlers. We gave them that nickname. So on all of these live shows and all of these videos, they are known as bottlers because they bottled it to City. Anybody that loses a league last minute to City or goes so close and can't do it is known as bottlers. The problem is Liverpool couldn't be seen as bottlers because when we win 100 points, they win 99. So that is extraordinary, and I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. 100 points again anytime soon. I don't think it's going to happen. Arsenal's first symbolic win, Community Shield. Arsenal beat us, on penalties. So, again, that's not going to do anything for the mentality. So, they won on penalties. Fair enough. But let's be fair, it's only a Community Shield. Although, Arteta does count that as a trophy. So, but he's got it, isn't he? He wants to stay at Arsenal. He wants that cash. In the league, in October, Arsenal beat City 1-0 at the Emirates. I was in Florida at the time, so as you can guess, it wrecked me day. You don't want to be going to Animal Kingdom just after you've lost 1-0 to Arsenal. I think that was the deflection goal as well. So anyway, this is the point where Haaland tells Gabriel that he'll never have a Premier League. Basically laughing at him, saying you'll never have a Premier League and I've got a Premier League. So this is where the rivalry starts between them two as well. This is where it starts, and it doesn't really go a whole lot more. Obviously, you remember this video. You got to remember that video because it was an absolute classic. It was funny. And Arsenal appealed and lost, thank God, because if anything happened to Haaland after that, then football's gone. Football is gone. But long story short, the last couple seasons, City and Arsenal finished top, but City finished just that little bit higher. Except last season. where Arsenal finished above City in the league, except on wins. They didn't get that, did they? Arteta calls City's consistency unmatched, but fans blame the FFP, oil money, and 115 charges, obviously. Gabriel did have his say on the matter, and I will let you know what he said right now. He says, on clashing with Erling Haaland, the incident where he threw the ball at my head, I controlled the ball and he came shoving me, knocked off my boot, then offered me a hand, and I told him to pick up my boot. He didn't. Kevin De Bruyne did. Well, nice one, Gabriel. I did that to mess with him because he messed with me first. You did what to mess with him? Your boot came off. You made your boot come off to mess with him. Throwing the ball at my head. That's where the provocation started. They were saying, we have the Premier League. I won the Premier League because Arsenal hasn't won it in a long time, right? It was a historic game. No, it wasn't. Beating Man City 5-1. You have to really play to pull that off. That day, we were out for blood. No, it's not a historic game. That is not a historic game. That's not going to be played over and over again. Because everyone knows that City didn't have a full squad. Let's not forget it was Partey that put pressure on Rodri. That's why Rodri did his ACL. Don't forget in the beginning of that game, Havertz went for Rodri. I'm not being funny. They hunted Rodri down that day. And whether they meant to ACL him or not, they fucking did. So, yeah. Gabriel Magalhães on Erling Haaland. He's a beast. If you blink wrong, he's already celebrating. That's how fast and strong he is. He's taller than me and really powerful. He's stronger than everyone. So, it doesn't really matter. He's stronger than everyone. But yeah, this orchestrated rivalry has to stop. Because it's going to be City and Liverpool next season, scrapping. And I think City are going to win the league. Because it's just who we are, mate. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.